scleroderma issues. We'll talk about scleroderma tomorrow as we continue talking about wound healing and wound healing's relationship to the disease process and to the aging process. If you have scleroderma, you know anybody who has scleroderma, tune in tomorrow and we'll cover that first off on the bright side. Okay, 855-660-4261 is our phone number. Got a couple lines open for you. Let's go to San Antonio and welcome Ryan to the bright side. What's up, Ryan? How you doing? Good morning, Ryan. What's going on? Okay, Ryan's being shy or silent, so we'll put Ryan back. Ryan's not talking, so we'll put Ryan back on hold, and then we'll go to Steve. I'm not sure where Steve's calling from. What's up, Steve? How you doing? Welcome to the bright side. Steve?
I had three questions, if you have time to address them. One has to do with the time challenger. Dr. Peterson has mentioned that. What you think about that? Number two is Ebola, and three has to do with cows in Missouri. I think the cheese or something, some special cow bred from Africa that you might have mentioned.
Yeah. That's Jordan Rubin's cattle. Jordan Rubin, he's a cattle breeder. Jordan Rubin does all kinds of stuff. Brilliant guy. One of my favorite resources for all things digestion. One of the best resources you can find for all things digestion. He actually breeds cattle now that produce a type of dairy that doesn't have the problematic protein, or one of the problematic proteins that people react to when they eat dairy. So a lot of folks are able to enjoy Jordan Rubin's dairy products, even if they typically have dairy intolerances. So that's what you're talking about. He lives in Missouri. His ranch is in Missouri, and his cattle farm is in Missouri as well. Then the second thing you asked me about, what was the second question?
One had to do with Ebola.
Okay, Ebola. Let me talk about Ebola, and then we'll take the other question. Ebola obviously is a nasty virus. The best way to protect yourself from any virus or any bacteria is to build your immune system, keep it strong, not put anything in the body that burdens the immune system. And that means most especially sugar and processed foods. In fact, any foods you eat will burden the immune system to a certain extent. As soon as we eat spinach, as soon as we eat a tomato, as soon as we eat a salad, even typically good foods, as soon as we have eggs, as soon as we have meat, it doesn't have to be crappy food. Our immune system is alerted that an enemy has entered into the body. So any food will put a burden on the immune system, but certainly McDonald's and crappy foods and Snickers bars and processed foods, etc., they're going to put a mega burden on the body, on the immune system. So anything you can do to relax or remove the burdens on the immune system, and anything you do to support the immune system, is going to help you with microbial attacks, and that includes viruses. So the best way to protect yourself from Ebola, and by the way, fear suppresses the immune system. Let's be clear here. Fear is one of the worst things, in terms of your health, fear is one of the worst things you can interface with. It's just as bad as any Big Mac or Whopper or Betty Crocker cake mix. Any processed foods. Fear is don't be afraid of fear either, by the way. That's a whole other issue. How President Roosevelt said, the only fear we have to fear is fear itself. So don't be afraid of fear, but just don't interface with it. Anybody who's making you feel fear, if you leave a conversation or an interaction with somebody and you feel scared, that's an interaction or a conversation that you want to avoid having. You don't want to be in fear, especially when it comes to your immune system. Fear will suppress the immune system. That's just a mild digression, but that's important to recognize. Processed foods can do it. Lack of oxygen can do it. Same thing we talk about all the time. Lack of the mighty 90 nutrients can do it as well. In terms of specifically boosting the immune system, vitamin C, zinc, selenium, vitamin E, alpha lipoic acid, magnesium, these are all very, very important for building the immune system. Staying away from environmental toxins is also important. Read Sherry Rogers' book, Tired Not Toxic, classic book on detoxification. And of course your mighty 90 essential nutrients, including the ultimate essential fatty acids, are important. The Z radical can help build the immune system. Those are the kind of strategies you want to protect yourself from Ebola. And then the last thing you asked me, I don't know who Dr. Peterson is. I think Time Challenger is I don't really want to get into I just get into trouble when I talk about other people's products. So I'm gonna pass on that, except to say that the Time Challenger supplement is not part of the Mighty 90. There's some of the Mighty 90 nutrients as I understand it, but more important to focus on the Mighty 90. Resveratrol's great. Carnitine is great. I talk about all of these things. You get smatterings of the B vitamins. Stick to the Mighty, in my opinion only, Mighty 90 Essential Nutrients Healthy Start Pack. If you want to throw other things in, I would throw in the Z Radical and the Ultimate Enzymes. The magic formulas, I just don't. I'd rather not say anything about it. So I'm going to pass on that last question.
Anything, and these would help any kind of support for the mitochondria?
You don't need to support. That's where the nonsense comes in, okay? The mitochondria are supported by being non-toxic, keeping your body clean, by using the Mighty 90 Essential Nutrients and making sure you're oxygenating. To target the mitochondria, it's marketing. And that's all I'm going to say about that, all right? I don't want to get in. That's just going to get me into trouble. You don't need to target your mitochondria. You need to target your cells, all right? You don't need to target the Golgi apparatus. You don't need to target the endoplasmic reticulum. You don't need to target the little substructures inside a cell. Let the cell do the work. You target the cell, okay?
Yeah. And just one brief thing, the Ebola, that just for knowledge, that is airborne. I mean, we would protect ourselves correctly, I guess.
Immune system, building the immune system, fighting building the body's defenses. That's the best way to protect. Building the body's defenses by not putting the crap in the body and by making sure you're putting the good stuff in the body.
Yeah.
And don't go into fear ever. Ever.
Right, I agree. Okay, well, thanks very much.
All right, thank you, Steve. God bless, buddy. Okay. All right, let's see if we got Ryan back. Are you there, Ryan?
Yes, I am. Sorry, I couldn't unmute earlier.
No worries. What's going on?
So, hey, this is something that you've talked about a bunch, hypertension, but let me just tell you real quick what my wife was prescribed going in for knowing that she had hypertension and just finishing up a UTI. 3 different medications.
Okay. You know what? We got to take a break. I apologize, Ryan, but we'll get you as soon as we come back because I'll answer all your questions when we come back. Let's see. If you're on hold, hang tight. We'll get to you when we come back. I'm Pharmacist Ben. 855-660-4261 is our number. You are listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network.
My name is Kay Swirling, and I am in the early part of my 10th decade. I want to discuss the issue of pharmaceuticals versus minerals and vitamin supplements. I remember a discussion between my mother and me. It was at that time that canned vegetables and fruits were introduced into the U.S. market. It was some time before my mother and others felt comfortable with food in cans. That was also the time when drugstores offered for sale cough syrup and aspirins and not much else. Let's fast forward to this decade, the here and now. Simple drugstores are large corporations with the message that they are the ones who have the power to cure human ills. Meanwhile, the battle continues with minerals and vitamins being the answer to human ills. Who will win the battle? I believe and hope it will be the belief in the power of vitamins and minerals over that of the toxic chemicals in prescription drugs. What do you think?
So we decided to upgrade the look of our home.
You know, improve the curb appeal.
We decided to add the look of stone to the exterior.
We really like the stacked stone look.
Yeah, but when I checked into the price, it was ridiculous. No way could we afford it.
Then a friend told me about Genstone. Genstone.
Genstone comes in lightweight panels made of polyurethane. They've actually engineered the hassle out of installation. No mortar, no mesh. It was easy. Even I could do it.
We just screwed the panels to the wall and it looks like stone. I mean, it really looks like stone.
Yeah, from the box to the wall in minutes.
We love the look of our home now.
And Genstone is durable, comes with a 25-year warranty, and offers additional R-value for insulation.
If you want the look of stone at a price you can afford, call Genstone
at 855-955-STONE. Trust me, you'll save money.
And you'll love the look.
855-955-STONE. That's 855-955-7866.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey Guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit GoBerkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey Guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey Guy at GoBerkey.com And be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey Guy.
A 30-day GMO-free emergency food supply for only $99 at 30dayfoodsupply.com. You can purchase Oregon Trail Foods' 1-month supply of high-quality, nutritious, and healthy emergency meals. For less than $100, these vegetarian meals are naturally high in fiber, carbs, and protein, and they're packed with oxygen absorbers in Mylar pouches. They're completely free of any artificial flavors and colorings, have a 20-year shelf life, and take up to 70% less space than number 10 cans. They even offer a gluten-free option. Oregon Trail Foods and 30dayfoodsupply.com keep prices low by buying directly from the producers in Oregon and then passing the savings to you. Purchase a 30-day, 90-serving emergency food supply for only $99 this month, and $10 ships your entire order. Visit the website at 30dayfoodsupply.com or call 541-229-0010. That's 30dayfoodsupply.com, where they make preparedness affordable. 30dayfoodsupply.com.
GCN, proudly sponsored by UnseenNow.com. Find out how to stop Big Brother in his tracks at UnseenNow.com. This is GCN.
Okay, we are back on the bright side. Let's talking to Ryan in San Antonio. Ryan, let's go quick because I want to get to as many calls here as I can. You have 3 medications, you're saying?
Yeah, so went in for high blood pressure and, a little bit stressed, walked out with
3 medications.
Xanax, SSRI, and beta blockers.
Xanax, SSRIs, and what was the last one?
Beta blocker.
Okay, beta blocker, poison the heart, dumb down the heart. Anybody who thinks that's an intelligent strategy, I want to hear from them. Any medical professional or non-medical professional who thinks it's an intelligent strategy to poison the heart to lower the blood pressure, I want to hear from them. Otherwise, I just cannot figure out what a medical professional who's taken the Hippocratic Oath, who swears to help people, what is the logic, the intelligence to poisoning the heart to slow down the blood pressure, to reduce the blood pressure? It just baffles me. All right, I still, every time I hear about it, I know we studied beta blockers 30 years ago in pharmacy school. I didn't understand it then, and in the last 30 years, I still can't understand what the heck a doctor is thinking by dispensing a beta blocker that poisons the heart. Read it, Google it. Beta blockers, poisoning the heart. That's number one. At least that's working with the high blood pressure. The Xanax and the SSRIs, obviously, your doctor thinks that your wife is having some mental issues, and that's why her blood pressure is high. The Xanax will knock, anti-anxiety, like a Valium, and then the SSRI, the Prozac, he must think she's depressed. So, what do you want me to say? It's idiotic, in my opinion. IMO. My opinion only, idiotic. You can tell that to the doctor, by the way. That's just my opinion. That's all I'm saying. You want to address hypertension non-toxic? In a non-toxic way? Figure out what the emergency is. Hypertension, high blood pressure, is a sign that the body is in emergency mode. So figure out what the emergency is, and it's not difficult. It's either a nutritional deficiency, and from a physical perspective, it's either a nutritional deficiency, it's a problem with breathing, and slow, deep breathing is one of the fastest ways to naturally lower your blood pressure. It can also be toxicity that's entering into the body through foods or through something called endo, meaning inside, endotoxemia, which is basically gases that are being spewed into the bloodstream through the digestive tract by bacteria, good bacteria that live in the intestine. So correct the digestive issues. Use the Z radical and the digestive enzymes, and look to problem foods. You've got to have other things going on. Hypertension is a secondary health challenge. That means there's primary issues underneath. So she's probably got blood sugar problems, digestive problems, something along those lines. Certainly she has stress in her life or emotional distress. The body doesn't know necessarily that the stress is coming from a real threat or a pretend threat or a perceived threat. So she does have stress in her life, emotional distress, or she's thinking the wrong thoughts. And these are very important issues that we don't address all the time on the bright side, but they're very significant, folks. If you have emotional and mental issues, if you're thinking the wrong thoughts, if you're feeling crappy feelings, that's going to show up physically too, and those certainly need to be addressed. Not with SSRIs and Xanax, but with cognitive therapy, but with using thoughts, with figuring out what the problems are from an emotional standpoint. Drugs are never the answer. Never, 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 never. They're only going to muck up the system. So work on the emotional and mental strategies, and I'm not going to go into that, but from a